Hi, true believers. I'm sad. Frankly, I am big sad. And you want to know why? It's because last year, I started a script titled You Should Be Reading Spider-Man Beyond. It was a joyous script, filled with praise for this sudden, unexpected, but very welcome new era of Spidey comics. One where Ben Reilly was finally in the webs again, and doing his best to repair the relationships that were broken by Dan Slott and the Clone Conspiracy. For the first time in a long time, I was excited to be a Spider-Man fan again, but before I could finish that script, Beyond ended. And what an ending it was, true believers. But we're going to save that for later, because right now, I'm going to need to take you back to the beginning. The very beginning. The year was 2021. I was racked with crippling anxiety that was keeping me, for the most part, indoors. To tell you the truth, I was not doing well at all. That is, until Free Comic Book Day, where a certain comic was released and a certain blonde wall crawler webbed his way back into the Marvel scene. Good old Ben Reilly, a character who's certainly gotten me through more than one bad experience in my life. The internet exploded, at least my little corner of it did, because we were all so excited and so happy to finally have Ben seemingly back in action and doing a lot better than he was the last time we saw him in a mainline comic. Look, you gotta understand that Scarlet Spider fans were starving for a single crumb of good content featuring the character, and this seemed to be it. We hadn't seen the guy since he'd punched a hole through Mysterio's daughter's stomach, stabbed Kane, and sat crying in an alley. And here he was, with his blonde hair back, and throwing that ratty Scarlet Spider cosplay he stole in the trash, finally. I'm not a fan of the Peter David Scarlet costume. It's just a little too pristine, and the eyes are too small. It just doesn't have the right vibe, to be honest. I'm glad Across the Spider-Verse didn't use it. Anyway, you get the picture, right? We were crawling our way through a desert, dying of thirst, and here comes this hot blonde to quench our thirst, you know? Soon enough, the first official issue of Spider-Man Beyond drops, and it's kind of a banger. Peter and Ben finally reunite for the first time since his death at the hands of the Green Goblin. And no, I'm not counting Clone Conspiracy, since Ben clearly wasn't in his right mind for that entire event. But yeah, it was bittersweet. And while I'm not a fan of their diner conversation about sharing Spider-Man, I am Spider-Man. You can't buy that. It's my life. Our life. I know that's not convenient, and it's not what you want, but it's true. Ben, I just thought after your last resurrection, you'd take it easy. Get some help. I did. Beyond put me back together. Believed in me. Believed that together we can do a lot of good with Spider-Man. But then why do they need I need? You have to understand that. This is what I need. My memories might not be real, but they're real to me. Uncle Ben, the guilt of his death, power and responsibility, everything that makes you put on that costume and help people. I have that too. Could I ask you to sit on the sidelines? No. But this is a lot to take in. You're asking me to share Spider-Man with you. Actually, and this isn't fun to say, but I want to be honest. I'm not asking. Oh. They made me an offer, and I accepted it. It's that simple? It's not simple at all. They've invested millions of dollars in this. They're going ahead with or without me. I chose with me. Sorry, Peter. And I've got this. They're paying me stupid money. See you out there. Ugh. I understand at the time that the writers were simply trying to build a little drama that I was sure was going to be settled in the story itself. And you know what? I was right. Pete and Ben team up to fight the UFOs despite their earlier argument. They make a fantastic team. And unfortunately, Peter gets hospitalized by the end of it. And his spider bro, his sweet baby brother Ben, rushes him to the hospital without a second thought. And not only that, but he refuses to continue to let himself be called Spider-Man until he has his brother's blessing. If Pete doesn't want him to do it, fine. He'll stick with the Scarlet Spider. But Pete tells him that he deserves to be Spider-Man. and he tells him to be amazing.
Ben, if you're gonna talk your way out of this, let's get those lips moving. If she starts swinging, I am in no shape to stop her.
Okay, right, look. If I could take your place, I would. But I'm still on my feet, and it's the Spider-Man thing. I still want to do it. I think it's even more important now that you're, well, you know. But I've decided that I can't do it without your blessing.
You want my permission? I thought you weren't asking.
I didn't handle that right. I'm not used to getting the things I need. I don't expect people to help me, so I don't know how to ask. That's what my therapist says, at least. Anyway, this is me asking.
It's hard when you're around, Ben. It really is. It feels like I'm being asked to share my life, and I don't know if there's enough of that to go around in the first place. And that makes it real easy to ignore. This is all even harder for you, because you deserve to be who you are. You deserve to do what makes you happy, and you deserve to be Spider-Man.
Thank you, Peter. Hey, you get better, okay?
I'll be out of here in no time.
And don't get too comfortable on your own.
And last thing, Ben?
Yeah?
Be amazing.
I cried. I'm not kidding. I had tears in my eyes reading this. Tears of joy. Because I really did think we'd entered into a new era of Spidey comics. I mean, they'd been getting pretty stale for a while now. And what better way to freshen things up than to reintroduce the brother dynamic with Peter and Ben? Maybe throw Kane in there from time to time and let them be a dysfunctional family that's fun to read. I had so much hope, which, unfortunately, was the point. You see, when it was all said and done, Zeb Wells, the writer, and Nick Lowe, the editor-in-chief, revealed that neither of them really like Ben Reilly. In Nick Lowe's own words, Ben Reilly doesn't have a place in Spider-Man. That's right, folks. The entire point of Beyond, the entire process of building the blonde webhead back up to his old self, was just to tear him back down again and make him a villain for the third time in a row. And what did they expect? Applause? A standing ovation for this never-before-seen twist in a Spider-Man comic? Because that's certainly what it feels like. The big finale of Beyond is Ben losing his memories, he and Peter fighting over contrived circumstances where Ben, for some reason, decides to trust the woman who did this to him over his own brother, before Ben chooses to die in a bunch of green goop for reasons. Hey Peter, you know you have spider powers, right? You can just swing down and grab him with your superhuman strength and speed before the slow-moving goo reaches him, instead of flailing your arms and shouting, right? Or, you know, use those webs of yours that can hold Iron Man in a vice that you invented as a teenager to snap him up. No, Spider-Man Beyond was quite literally only dreamt up to spit in the face of Ben Reilly fans. And that sucks, okay? Because Peter being out of commission for a little while, and both Ben Reilly and Miles Morales being the spider heroes taking care of New York full-time in his place, sounds like a fantastic breath of fresh air for Spidey comics. The guy desperately needed a break, and Scarlet Spider fans have been starving for something like this since the 90s. Come on, Marvel, you had all the pieces in place. Why torch it? The creative process behind Beyond baffles me to no end. Because who asked for this? If you don't like a character, why push them to the forefront of your new run just to tear them down? And then we got Chasm and the Dark Web event, which of course was the biggest clusterfuck of a story I've ever seen, where Madeline Pryor somehow got off scot-free after launching a demonic invasion of New York by somehow pinning all the blame on Ben after betraying him. I hate it. I don't understand it. And I just want my favorite Marvel character to have one win. Please. I'm done. This is the Synth Voice Network, signing off for the night.